One thing we know in this country is education is the great equalizer. And we want the parents to be empowered.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says the Parents' Bill of Rights Act sits on 5 main pillars: the right to know what's being taught in schools and the reading material, the right to be heard, the right to see school budgets, the right to protect their children's privacy, and the right to be updated on any violent activity at school.
We think these are pretty basic things that everybody and every parent should have a right to.
Several parents were on hand to remind lawmakers why this legislation is so critical. One mom from Rhode Island was sued by a teachers union for wanting to know what her kindergartner would be learning.
I'm still in litigation for almost 2 years with the teachers union. I still don't have my answers. But what I do know is that my school district and my teachers union didn't want to just hide the curriculum from me. They wanted to ruin my life just for asking for it. And I don't want that to happen to any other parent in America.
They sued you for asking what's being taught to your child. I mean, we wouldn't think we'd have to do this bill, but you are the exact reason why we have the Parents' Bill of Rights.
On CBN's Faith Nation, Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council raised the question of how the Democrats will respond.
It's going to be very interesting to see what the other side of the aisle does with this measure that simply empowers parents, creates transparency in education, making sure that the parents who pay for the schools have an understanding of what their children are being taught and have a voice in the process.
As parents, it is our primary duty to protect our children and preserve their innocence. Unfortunately, there is a toxic movement infiltrating our schools that is more interested in pushing a political agenda rather than teaching our students, our children, what the subjects we were taught in school.
Congresswoman Julia Letlow, who sponsored the bill, says the pandemic brought to light what's actually being taught in schools, including a curriculum heavy on LGBTQ rights, critical race theory, and other so-called woke indoctrination.
And so then we did the right thing, right? We went to our school boards and we voiced our displeasure. But we were turned away, and some of us were even labeled domestic terrorists. That was absolutely not right. And so that was the impetus for this bill. That was it. Thanks to all of you in this room, for the parents for stepping up and saying, no, enough is enough.
We also saw things like gender ideology, which is teaching that you can believe that if you believe that you are another sex, that's what you should be affirmed in. And we know as parents that that is not something that's not scientific. It is not, it's not biological. And we need to deal with these problems in the proper way.
Critics say the bill would lead to education bans and take books off of classroom shelves. But House Republicans say parents have a right to a seat at the table when it comes to their children's education, and the Parents' Bill of Rights will ensure that. The bill is expected to pass the House, but face strong opposition in the Democratic-controlled Senate. Wendy, Griffith, CBN News.